from Littleton, Colorado.
Good evening tonight from the now quiet playgrounds of Littleton, Colorado, Jefferson County, where the promise and the prosperity of the Rocky Mountain West were the big news here until yesterday. Now the world knows this suburb as the home of an American nightmare. One of the worst school shootings ever, 15 dead bodies still being identified, and many questions still being asked. And work still going on tonight. The fire crew tonight detonated one of the pipe bombs left behind by the gunman. As we begin tonight, we want to take a moment now to get a clearer picture of what happened here at Columbine High. Just before 11:30 a.m. local time yesterday, two young men in black trench coats walk from the parking lot toward the building. They pull out their guns and start shooting. They enter the cafeteria, shooting as they walk. Moments later, they make their way up the stairs and to the library as students scatter and hide. At noon, the first explosions the gunmen are now setting off are heard. Pipe bombs. At 12:30, the SWAT teams enter, finding bombs scattered around the building. They begin a room-by-room search. At 2:30, large groups of students are freed from their hiding places. By 4 p.m., the first word comes, there are multiple fatalities inside. Tonight, there are so many difficult questions. Who were these two young men? How could they come to this? We get some answers now as we begin with NBC's Jim Avila.
Tom, they come from good homes, good schools, good families. NBC News has learned that 3 of the 4 parents are indeed professionals. One a geologist, one retired military, one even an educator. But somehow, few would disagree, these kids went wrong. And some of their friends tonight are saying it was a violent turn from war games to real-life violence. These 2 boys, 18 days from high school graduation, from an honored school, living in an upscale community. Both parents at home described as attentive and concerned.
They've just been nice people. I mean, it's like you can't put blame on them at all. It's Dylan's choice, and no one knows why he made that choice.
So how did Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold become America's most notorious killers, murdering classmates with a weapons cache that includes 30 bombs planted inside and outside their school, 2 sawed-off shotguns, 1 handgun, 1 carbine rifle?
Well, they were laughing about killing people, and it was like they having the time of their life.
Those who knew these teens best say the trenchcoat mafia is more than just black clothes. These boys were dangerously strange.
You could tell he hated a lot of people. You could tell there's just a lot of hate in him.
Both Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold had trouble with the law. Arrested as juveniles last year on charges of breaking and entering a car, they finished probation just 2 months ago. And NBC News has learned from close associates, both boys were fascinated by guns, watching the movie Natural Born Killers over and over again. And 1 month ago, the boys went to the hills near their suburban Denver homes to videotape themselves shooting high-powered guns. This young girl, a close friend and rare female member of the Trenchcoat Mafia group, says Eric and Dylan were mesmerized by war and spent their lunch hours on war games.
Because of the way that it was done, they knew beforehand exactly what was going to happen.
And at home spent hours on the computer adding even more violence to Doom, a medieval war game. Both dabbled in German, and their music was foreign, the dark heavy metal of Rammstein. And tonight, some debate among their friends about who was the leader. Eric's friends say it was Dylan. Dylan's friends say it was Eric. Others say they fed upon each other. Tom?
Thank you very much, Jim Avila, tonight. One of the Columbine students who knew both suspects well is Brooks Brown. In fact, he encountered Eric Harris just before the shooting began, and Harris told Brooks, "Brooks, I like you. Get out of here." Brown was puzzled, and then he heard the shots and realized his longtime childhood friend, Dylan, could also be involved. I talked to Brooks late today at his family home, not too far from the school.
I'd known him for so long. He wasn't that violent of a person ever.
Did you ever hear him talk about hating the jocks or hating black people? Or
everyone at our school talks about hating one group or another, but he always did it jokingly.
What about these reports that they were picking out black people to deliberately shoot them?
No, they weren't racist. They hated everybody. As sick and demented as that may be, they didn't mean anything by it.
What do you think happened to your friend Dylan?
He's a follower. He just got taken into Eric, because Eric helped him get attention. Dylan and Eric were never liked by anyone.
And Dylan's parents are going through a terrible time.
Yeah, I've just been watching a lot of the news shows, and I know that they've been putting them off as kind of like these horrible parents, what did they do to make their kid turn out like this? And they didn't do anything. I mean, they were nice people. I mean, I've known Dylan since I was 5.
Dylan went to the prom on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Nothing unusual happened?
No, they had a great time. My friend went with them. My friend doubled with Dylan and his date, and they had a great time. There's nothing. You could not have seen this coming a million years away.
Are you going to be okay?
Probably not. I know I'm not going to be able to go back to Columbine, ever. 2 of my really good friends shot and killed people there. And I have another couple of friends that are on the missing list. I have a number of friends who are in hospitals right now in surgery. I'm never going to be able to go back there.
Brooks Brown tonight.